engagement and how they will be delivering the session. We are recording the session today, so that anyone who is interested in finding out about the delivery methods of other centres can find that out and kind of watch it if they haven't managed to attend today. So we have got with us today Marguerite, who is in our network team. So she's in the chat panel as well. So if you see her name pop up as well, she does work for Good Things Foundation. So what we're going to do is just kind of kick things off. If you're struggling with sound or anything like that, you can edit in the top panel of the webinar just to check your sound settings. If you click meeting, and then you should have an audio setup wizard. That should help you sort out any sound issues. You can change the volume and things like that up there. Brilliant. So I'm just going to get started on this one.
Okay.
So today's webinar, I'm going to briefly introduce who will be speaking today and where the information will be coming from. And then we will have a chance to use the chat panel to kind of go through and make sure that you have a chance to ask any questions as well. I can see that there's some comments saying that people can't hear. I just want to check that other people can hear what I am saying at the moment. Okay. Brilliant. So I see that some people can hear. We do have some other members of the team. If you can just look out for Alison in the chat, she has got a little bit of guidance on how to sort out the sound settings if it is a little bit quiet. Fantastic. So the panel today, we were going to have a lady called Wendy who's from Airedale Enterprise Services. Unfortunately, she's been unable to come, but she has provided me with a full overview of what she wanted to present. So I will be presenting on behalf of Airedale today. We also have Sue from Eccles Library, I think it's part of Salford Community Leisure, and we'll be doing a brief part of kind of their approach. And we also have Paul, who works at Emmanuel Wesley, which is based in Liverpool and Manchester. So I'm going to kick things off with a little bit about Airedale Enterprise Service and the process that they've been going through to deliver the Digital Garage project. So Airedale are a local enterprise agency based in Keighley, and as you can see they work with pre-start, new start and existing businesses. So you will be aware that the project isn't just limited to businesses, it is individuals, job seekers, students, but Airedale do focus primarily on businesses. So one of the first things that the centre does is think about the people that they actually want to attract to the Digital Garage. So their focus is on self-employed, small businesses, employees and individuals. So they do look at students and unemployed as well. This is kind of in line with the guidance that we did release recently of the different audiences that you can work with. And it's really thinking about the people you want to attract and what they might want to do. So promotion that Airedale do, they do e-shots to their existing clients. They use social media, so some Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even using LinkedIn. They do also have links to local business clubs and local kind of networking events and have made use of that to bring in new clients. And I've also contacted their local job centre and local recruitment agencies to kind of feed into the audiences that they already have and see if there is any potential there for those individuals to make use of the Digital Garage through Airedale. They also put a press release in a local publication. I'm aware that some other centres have also done things similar to this and advertising kind of locally, although they do have to invest a little bit of money to get that out in the magazines. Often that will bring in new clients that then can be used not just in Digital Garage, they can make use of other services that centres offer as well. So it does end up kind of being in the long run a little better. Also promoting to local community groups, using the council to help with that, contacting the local Chamber of Commerce, which we have provided them a template letter for you to use recently, and also engaging with local colleges and sixth forms and universities. The only thing to bear in mind there is the age that we recently released, where there is the lower age limit. So regarding Airedale's delivery, they have regular sessions so that the individuals that are attending them do know to expect that they will be coming. So either every week, every other week, so there is a bit of structure to it, so they know that they can come back to continue on with their learning or look at further learning. There also is a suggestion to allow 2 hours for delivery, including any comfort breaks or snack breaks. And we have mentioned this in previous hints and tips email, because when the user isn't at the on the site, the timer that is counting their hour does pause. So if they are stepping away, getting a cup of tea, because you definitely can't go more than an hour without a cup of tea, they do make sure that there is time for the individuals to have that break. They also look at the Digital Garage and kind of looking at it as a whole, so if they complete the 23 topics, then they do get the certificate from there, and so that does encourage people to look at it in the long term and look at, oh, I can continue on and do more, which will bring in more of the topics, and also adds that time if they're going back to it to make sure that they are eligible on our side for the funding. And also making sure that they complete the information that you do need for the Capture It form, and making sure they log on with the link. And the team at Airedale do have quite a kind of fixed structure of adding the information to Capture It, making sure that all their administration's done and not leaving it to kind of build up, because we do understand that centres do get busy and that they might not necessarily have time to do a large chunk of admin, so splitting it up and doing smaller chunks as and when can make it a little easier kind of in the long term. So one thing that Airedale do that helps to kind of hit the target that is needed on our end is telling them that they should complete 8 lessons within the 2-hour slot that they have, and that on average they complete around 10 lessons. So that gives an expectation for the learner. It's also overshooting a little bit of the target that we have, which is 7 lessons in 60 minutes. So it means that if someone does maybe only complete the 7, but it's in the 2-hour slot, it does actually hit the target that you need for the contract. And also very important of bringing users back, giving them the opportunity to come back. And that does fit in with the schedule time. So if you have a set time each week or every 2 weeks where people can come back, they do know that they can come back to continue using Digital Garage, which will add on to their learning and will also help with the adding on to the courses and the time that they're spent on it, and in the end benefit both the individual and ensure that the learning is counted towards the funding. So, as I say, this was from Wendy, who works at Airedale. She has provided her contact details, which we will send around after we've got the webinar recording, to make sure that if you have any questions about anything specific that they do at their centre, she definitely will be happy to speak to you and offer any guidance on any delivery that you might be doing that's either similar or maybe something a little different, that she might have come up with an idea that you might want to follow up. So I'm going to leave myself, I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to pass on to our next speaker, which is Sue. So I'm going to mute myself. Sue, are you about ready?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I'll keep up with the slides, Sue, if you just want to fire away now. Thank you.
Right. Okay, thank you. My name's Sue Burgess. I'm a community librarian for Salford Community Leisure. The digital garage has been something that's in addition to my normal duty, so obviously I can only spend a certain amount of time on it. So what we've been aiming at first of all is new users. That's what my priority has been. So when we first knew we had the funding, we started by advertising on the library website, Facebook and Twitter, giving advance notice of it to try and generate some interest to start with, but it didn't really happen at that stage. We've previously been part of a project called Enterprising Libraries with Greater Manchester Libraries. We held inspirational talks, and during those times, we were still doing that at the time, so we did a brief survey of the sort of topics people would be interested in from the Google Garage. And a lot of people, it was mainly websites and social media were their favourite topics. And as we've learnt from other events, the topic is what grabs people, so we decided to focus on the topics to draw people in. So, sorry, I might be talking too fast. We started with Build Your Web Presence and Get Discovered with Search, which is 11 lessons in total. We knew we needed new people to register, so we continued with that topic for 8 sessions, so we did that up to Christmas. Mainly at the library I work at, which is Eccles Library, but we moved it out to other Salford libraries after that. Since the new year, we've moved on to Get Noticed with social media and deep dive into social media, which is 8 lessons in total. I'll move on to the sessions a bit later on. So the promotion, we started off, we've used Eventbrite before, so we use this for these sessions. It's a good way of managing bookings. As long as you've got free events, if you're charging for anything, then obviously a booking fee, but there's no booking fee for free events. So it creates a registration sheet for you. You can operate and manage a waiting list. You can email reminders. Attendees get an email reminder anyway 48 hours before, but you can do your own very easily. So I do that 2 days before anyway, and with a personal note from myself saying who the tutor is and who the library staff will be.
Hi, sorry Sue, sorry for interrupting. Can you maybe speak up a little? The volume's just a little bit quiet. Is it possible we can maybe attempt to just on the top maybe raise your volume on your microphone, just so we can ensure that everyone hears you?
Oh right, well it's on the telephone, so let me just see if I can do it.
Yeah.
Let's see if this works. I turned it down because I was getting feedback. Is that any better? No, it's probably not going to do anything, is it? Right. Do you want me to rewind a bit, or?
If we just go a little bit back, just maybe the last paragraph back, if that's okay. And if you maybe just can speak a little closer to the mic, that'd be fantastic.
Right, I can't really do a lot about that, I'm afraid. I'll try and speak up. Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine. Your speaking speed's absolutely fine as well. I'll mute my mic now.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. I'll go back to promotion then. We've used Eventbrite before to promote events, and it's proved to be a good way of managing bookings. It creates a registration sheet for you. You can operate and manage a waiting list, and you can send. Attendees already got an email reminder anyway, but you can do your own personal one, which we seem to get we don't seem to have a great fall-off rate considering it's a free event. Once we've emailed it, we get a good response from people if they can't attend. You can link it with Facebook, but I've not quite worked out how to do that yet. And I have found that nearly half the bookings are actually generated through using Eventbrite for people who are looking for those kinds of events. Right, and I have to do that first because you need the link for all your publicity. So then it goes on the library website. There's a weekly paper which we have a library page in, so it gets advertised on that. I've slightly adapted the poster, which you may be able to see from the slide, so that we've got a bigger white box for information at the bottom. So we make sure we highlight the topic that's being covered. We have displays in libraries, posters to libraries, leisure centres. I've built up quite a good mailing list of people that are interested in business events now. And we email partners such as Job Centre, our local housing department. They have business support as well, so they spread the word for us. The Salford Council has a business support team, which I think most councils do have, and they spread the word. Work clubs, community neighbourhood teams that work for the council, they all spread the word. And Salford Connections, who work with young people aged 13 to 24. We've not approached the colleges yet, but we will be doing that now that the age limit has been dropped. We use social media, Facebook and Twitter. And moving on to the event itself, the events are 2-hour sessions, which allows us time to make sure everybody registers, fills in the capture IT, logs on, remembers the passwords for Gmail, that sort of stuff. We do it fortnightly, and it's classroom style. So basically how we do it, because we weren't sure that all our headphone sets and things worked on the PCs, we all watch it together on a projector, with a projector and screen, laptop and speakers, and a tutor leads the session. We make sure everybody sets the videos going so that the time is activated. And then Paul, our tutor from Corinth Training, he lets them have a break after they've done 7 lessons. But now we do the refreshments at the beginning and just keep going through. Yeah, so it's pretty well led by Paul. So we know that everybody's got through the lessons, which is why we're pretty on top of the numbers that we're getting through. At the end of the session, we hand out feedback forms because we're trying to find out how people hear about us and how the sessions have gone. Paul's produced a really detailed handout so people can take it home and they can log on again. And we encourage people to carry on by themselves, promoting the badges and the certificate they get if they finish it. People are usually really pleased to realise they can carry on. And we let them know that in the future to keep an eye out because we'll be covering more of the topics as a class again. So that's basically what we're doing in Salford.
Thank you so much, Sue.
Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's really important that we get different points of view from different centres on delivery because it may spark that idea in another centre that might be struggling. So thank you so much for sharing the way that you do things there. So we're going to move on to our final speaker of the session, and then following this we will have a look at kind of Q&A and making use of the chat panel. We will extend the chat panel so it's larger so that then we can continue the conversation in there about anything that anyone's spoken about today. So I'm just trying to check that we've got Paul. Paul, could you just unmute yourself and we'll check that we can hear you loud and clear?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, fantastic. I think that you're coming through quite loud and clear. Is anyone having any problems with Paul? If you just want to speak again briefly and just tell us a little bit about the organisation initially, and then we'll just pause to make sure that we're okay.
I'm from the Emmanuel Wesley Foundation, and we're a small organisation. We focus on people with post-traumatic stress, depression, loneliness, people that feel a bit isolated or forgotten in society, and we use a different creative, digital and academic and personal techniques to build them up and improve their lives and move them on to a different stage.
Thank you. Now, does that sound okay for everyone? I mean, if you're having any issues, let us know, but I heard Paul nice and clear then, so hopefully everyone else did.
Great. Okay. So
Fantastic.
No problem. So I'm gonna go through the engagement, some technical issues, the type of delivery, and what happens afterwards. So our engagement, I was listening to the other speakers before, is very different from past experience. As a small organisation, we rely on very much personal contact, making that trusted contact with people. So we have integrated this particular project with other projects that we do, ESOL and Future Digital. And we advertise our services as well we do welfare rights and some immigration guidance advice. And through that, we've made a connection with some agencies in Liverpool, and we have around about 30 calls a week, sometimes more. And the variety of problems, and from that, we filter them down for those people that have had employment issues or are in employment and want to move forward to a different type of career, and may have never ever thought about doing business, find it a completely impossible task, and don't know the options available. We regard ourselves as a first stage. We're not going to offer them detailed business plan and anything like that. It's about building their confidence to make that call with another agency, and that's where Google Digital comes in handy, because through that program we invite the person along. For instance, I'll give you a few examples. One person wants to make honey. In a back garden, a family have always had their own little honey and they want to sell it. Another person wants to sell small jewellery, but they don't know how to get it out, what to do. One's unemployed and one's disabled. So by sitting down together in the room, we talk about the options available, how some people can get startup loans, how there are agencies out there, Women's Organisation, Liverpool Chamber of Commerce, in Lancashire Social Enterprise, different organisations that can help give them a detailed plan. But we sit down, open up the Google Digital with them, let them explore the videos, discuss it. So most of it tend to be on social media, some of it on export, some of it on website, and let them talk together. So we only operate within a small group of 3 people, sometimes 2. And we are targeting mainly people who are unemployed already, who've lost themselves, sometimes in the 30s, 40s, who've never had that opportunity of being in low-paid unemployment. Often we tend to get a lot of people from the ethnic minority community who don't have the chance due to barriers of language, a long time being in the UK, suffering from post-traumatic stress or some sort of depression, and need that encouragement. We've also, when we first started, and it's proved quite successful, we visit arts and craft fairs. There are many art and crafts fairs and a large movement of people who go there and set up small businesses, from paintings, jewellery, card making, variety of things. We go along, we hand out our leaflets, we talk to the stall holder. Some of them may not have ever had a website before or have one and want more help. And some of them have come along on a one-to-one basis, a consulting basis. And we've sat down with them and gone through that process. We did try market traders. These are professional market traders that operate on a weekly or twice weekly market basis. Mixed response. Often those people tend to be very busy, but you do get, if you're willing to offer evening one-to-one sessions or midweek sessions, then you do get them to come along, because they haven't got the time, but they also realize that they learn about digital skills, that while they're on the market, they can actually operate a website and sell their curtains, etc., online through a mobile digital device. That's been quite interesting. The technical issues we encountered at the very first month when we started it. We logged on, I think, about 20 people, maybe more, and we didn't use the URL, so they were lost. And you just accept that fact, but you know that at least they've got their information. So we've learned that we don't do big class sizes, we just do that 1-to-1 or 1-to-3 consultation, and you sit down with them, you make sure you register each individual on one computer, the office computer, to make sure the URL is taken, so there's no mistake, they're registered. Then you ask them then to re-enter their details, and they have the password, etc., and they can learn with you there within the hour. or it's actually an hour and a half by the time the session finishes. And then they can go Thank you. Brilliant. So, um, I want to thank
a question there about what are e-shots. I believe that refers to kind of sort of like newsletters, so it's email shots, so you have a list of people who you might So for anyone who isn't keeping an eye on the chat, we've got Linda from FAST. One of the things we are planning is an event for women from the BME community to hold a marketing event to sell their products and support them with Digital Garage to promote the event on websites and their products, which is fantastic and kind of similar to one of the things that Paul mentioned. I do just want to pose a question to anyone who is in attendance on the webinar. Have the new kind of audiences brought any new inspiration for you, for people that you may be working with? And also another question there that's come from Catherine. How has everyone found working with Chamber of Commerce? We have found it difficult connecting with them as they claim it's a conflict of interest on what they offer. And a small note, we will get the recording out as soon as we can. We expect it will be around Monday. So I can see we are a little slow on questions in this session, which is absolutely fine. We made sure that we put a lot of time in just in case there was a lot of questions coming. So I think what we're going to do is give it another 5 minutes for any questions to kind of, if you think of any, to pop them through. And then what we'll do is we'll shut the webinar down, so that you can then get 15 minutes maybe back of your time that you were expecting. I know that maybe people might have a couple of emails they want to deal with. So we'll give it another 5 minutes, and at 1:15 we will close the webinar down. And as we said, we are going to be taking the recording of this and getting it round hopefully by Monday, and it will be uploaded to the landing page as well. So definitely want to say a big thank you to our speakers today and for everyone who has attended and asked questions and listened. It's really important that you do feel you can kind of connect with each other to help and deliver the projects and support each other. One final note is that you may be aware in our partners newsletter that we have got some networking events coming up, and please do check them out, because it will be another opportunity to talk to other centres in the network, and you may find that some of the people who are doing the same project as you might find them and find that you really kind of hit it off and are able to talk about kind of the ways that you work and things beyond the project as well. So at 1:15 we'll be closing this one down. But I'll just leave you for another 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So it looks like the questions have slowed down. If you do want to close the session down now, you can do so by going to Meeting and clicking Exit Adobe Connect. Thank you again to our speakers, to Paul and Sue. It's been absolutely fantastic hearing the ideas. I know that I can see a lot of people have said they have been inspired for some different things to trial out. And hopefully we'll speak to you all soon. I know that my team do love speaking to you on the phone about everything that you're doing, and we are here if you do need to contact us. Just pop us an email or give us a call. Thank you so much. We're going to close the session down as we hit 1/4 past, and hopefully we'll speak to you all soon. Thank